Gentlemen, start your engine!
Drivers, start your engines!
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Remember what I told all my drivers? Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Drivers, start your engines!
And gentlemen, start your engine!
And welcome back to another episode of the Green White Checkered Podcast. I'm Andrew, and I am joined with Shane again this week. Shane, we just got done with the Daytona 500, biggest race of the NASCAR season. A little bit of rain delay. There's controversy all weekend, starting with the duels and then the Xfinity race, and now we've had a huge penalty. Things have gotten kind of crazy just to start off the year. Like we ended the year last year kind of mayhem with everything that happened in the playoffs, and we're right back to it. So let's just start off with the mayhem this year. We duels on Thursday. Eric Jones wins the race. Plus 3,000 on betting books, DraftKings, stuff like that. Everybody was happy until they took the win away, said they threw the caution, and gave it to Austin Cindric. How did you feel about this call from NASCAR?
I mean, I'm always a fan of letting them race to the line, but they're not going to do that, especially in the duels. I mean, I hated it for Eric, but I guess it was the right call at the end of the day. It's hard to argue with that. And, like if it was the actual race, I might have had more issue with it, but no point in pushing the envelope there in the duels.
Yeah, it was funny because after it happened, I saw somebody said that Mark Martin's your Daytona 500 winner, and they showed the Mark Martin Kevin Harvick finish from, I can't remember what year that was, and it was like, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Big wreck behind him, the two cars, had the chance, and they let it go there. And then obviously dual race, they didn't. And then Sunday, same thing, big wreck going into turn 3, and they let it finish out, half a lap almost. And, it didn't change the finish of the race at all. Honestly, it cost me money, but I don't know. It's one of those things. Like, I think you let it play out. Either way, they were so close, like literally less than 100 yards away from the finish, like 2 seconds. It made no difference. Like, let it go.
Yeah.
I mean, we were big on Eric Jones, obviously, last Wednesday night when after qualifying, we told everybody, we're going to go kind of hard on him. So, I don't know. That hurt. But it was a good run. It was definitely reassuring, like, hey, we made the right call here. Legacy is going to have speed. Cindric, I mean, he's a great plate track racer. So, not a surprise to see those guys. Then, the other thing, I think this is the bigger one, is Saturday. Parker Kligerman. Was that Saturday or was that Friday? That was Friday. My bad. Friday, the truck race. Parker Kligerman wins the race. Great run for Parker. He's officially a part-time driver now. That team's a small team. And then we hear about 30 minutes later, he has been disqualified from the race. He is not the winner. They are going to appeal it, but ouch. That's the second win now that they have taken him, because he won at Coda last year. Was it Coda? I feel like it was Coda. It was the same thing as like the duel. He's so close to the finish, and then they're like, nope, caution. Let's do a green, white checkered, and he loses the race. So, oh man, I hate it for Parker. It seems like one of the good guys in the garage. I don't know. Good personality. Obviously, he's a broadcaster, but I don't know. Did you see anything or have any opinions on that one?
Yeah, you can definitely say that throughout the whole course of the weekend, NASCAR had their hands in a lot of the results, which you kind of hate to see. but that's the way that we started the season.
Yeah. Do you think this affects bettors for, NASCAR to where, they're taking away wins and awarding other people wins? It just feels, I don't know, seems to hurt it a little bit as far as legitimacy.
I would agree, probably from the casual better standpoint, possibly, but like your hardcore bettors and everything, they're gonna realize that first of all, it's first race of the season, so there's some kinks to work out. Plus, it's Daytona, so crazy things happen there. I would say if we've got a couple more of these types of events happen in the next few weeks, I would say that betting would probably be down, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, now that, the race is in the books, William Byron is the winner. How did your bets end up? Because I'll tell you right now, I was hurt all weekend. Like, I'm a big DFS guy, and I think it was the Busch race, not Busch, Xfinity race. There was a wreck towards the end, like literally last 5 laps. I think I ended up bringing Green White Checkered out, and it was just like they named off all the cars that were in the wreck, and it was like, oh, that's my lineup. That's cool. Perfect. So close to, winning some money, but nope, that went south. And then the Priest wreck, well, it was a Christopher Bell wreck, ended up collecting Priest and Eric Jones. It's like, cool. I laddered both those for top 10 fives, wins. And it's like, man, that hurts. It just seemed like it was, cascading. Cindric had him for top Ford. Cool. Last lap, lose that one. I can't remember who I had top Chevy. It was like, that one was really close. It's just like, just one of those Daytona things. You're so close, but yet so far.
Yeah, I didn't do very well either. I had a couple group winners. I had Blaney winning his group with Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, and Kyle Busch. So that one was easy because everyone else got taken out.
Yeah.
And then I had Briscoe in his group with Christopher Bell, Austin Cindric, and Bubba Wallace. Thankfully, the bet was settled before the penalties came down. Yeah. But other than that, the only other thing I hit throughout the weekend is I had Eric Jones top 3 in the second duel. I also had him as winner, so that would have been nice to double up there. But I will take a top 3 there.
Yeah, I had Bubba outright in his, and then I had Eric Jones outright in his, and it was just like, well, I hit the Bubba one, but
yeah, that would have been a nice
back
hit.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, actually, no, the Bubba one, it was the top 3, so I didn't cash that big, but I did get some money, and those were my only 2 bets for the races. So, profitable night for the duels, but throughout the weekend, it was rough. It was just, I don't know. It was kind of a mess all around for Daytona. I know I didn't bet the ARCA race. Some states you can. If you do, you're a madman. Like, that's the kind of person betting Chinese ping pong at 3 a.m. right there. It's, what a shit show that was. But yeah, little rough to start the season, but it's Daytona. We said it last week. Go light, enjoy it. It's just get a little skin in the game and have fun.
Yeah.
So, but we picked the wrong legacy drivers. Like we said it last week, we liked Eric Jones. We saw Legacy going to be bouncing back. We made the joke about John Hunter.
Yeah.
Well, John Hunter and Jimmy both finished top 5. Oof. And yeah, Eric Jones, he ended up 12th? Like so close to the top 10. Just couldn't do it for us. But I don't know. John Hunter, of all people, to finish top 5 at Daytona. He survived, though. That was the name of the game.
Yep. It was definitely the name of the game. And it was just a stroke of luck whether you survived or not.
Yeah.
You never know. You could have just been running on the inside down there, minding your own business, and then you're upside down like Ryan Preece.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Preece had nowhere to go. It was 5 to go or something like that. And goes airborne, flips. Just one of those deals.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Daytona, but we're heading into Atlanta. I don't know if it'll be any better. It's Did you happen to catch the ARCA race at all?
No, I missed
No.
it completely.
I don't even know what to call this anymore. Like, it's so bad. It's demo derby, and you got these people that should not be driving probably a street car out there on the racetrack. The ARCA race had the biggest viewership since 2013 Talladega. So that's a long time. 12 years now almost. But Cletus McFarland, big YouTube, personality, gave it a shot. He gets taken out twice, like right away in this race. And it's just like, ARCA, I think, needs to sit down and say, hey, maybe we shouldn't let some of these people drive, because you got Cletus coming in, bringing in, maybe 500,000 views, and he's taken out within 30 laps. I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Now, he did give an electric interview that caught the eye of the mainstream media.
Yeah. See, and I laughed. I found it funny. He gave the whole bald eagle flying around Daytona with the cutoff shirt thing. But then I saw other interviews pop up, and it was literally the same thing. It's like, oh, you scripted this. Like, I don't know. Just rubbed me a little wrong on that.
Yeah, he was trying to play into the whole Ricky Bobby persona for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But no, I mean, it's great for the sport. And ARCA's been dead for years. And if he decides he's going to do some races and bring some more, media attraction and sponsorships, better drivers, like, I'm all for it. I used to enjoy watching the ARCA races and kind of seeing the up and coming drivers. Now it's who's got too much money to, race a weekly series, and they just go and race that. But
yeah.
So you alluded to the Briscoe penalty. Something with the spoiler. I haven't actually heard what it is. Modifications to the spoiler. Huge penalty though. 100 points. So he's sitting at like negative 67 or something.
Yeah, he's going into Atlanta negative 67.
Yeah. 10 playoff points. So I don't know if he got any at Daytona, but those are gone. His suspension for his crew chief, 4 races. Like, maybe not so much this week, but at COTA, Phoenix, Vegas, like, that's going to hurt. And then $100,000, which I feel like, I don't know, that's nothing. But that's a huge shot for somebody, just starting out with a new team and everything.
Race 1.
Yeah. And just losing your crew chief, you're that whole like meshing, getting to know your like how everything works, kind of like us. We're on our second podcast and we're still trying to figure each other out and mannerisms. I don't know, words and stuff. But yeah, so he loses that. So he's not really getting the start with his crew chief until end of March.
Yeah, crazy. 4 race suspension for the first penalty. I mean, NASCAR brought the hammer down.
I'm hoping they have it on the truck or like say what actually happened and not just go, oh, modified on the spoiler, done. Like, I want to see what they did. I always enjoy it, as like working, with machines and stuff like that all the time. It's like, I want to know the tricks, see what the engineers came up with. But,
was this post appeal that this was all announced, or is Gibbs planning on appealing this?
They have not said if they're appealing, as far as I know. It just came out today, a couple hours ago, that it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, they'll appeal it, I'm sure. At least maybe try to get the crew chief, James Small, a few more races before he gets suspended. But
that or get it reduced.
Yeah. Yeah. Even 2 races, you take out Atlanta, and then, COTA is going to be rough. But you don't see Briscoe at COTA doing well. I don't know. It hurts. Also, I hate the schedule. Holy crap. Awful. You got Daytona, Atlanta, COTA, and then is it Phoenix or is it Vegas?
I think it's Phoenix, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awful. Like, whoever came up with that should be fired.
Yeah, I hate it. I miss going out to California for the second race like they did for so long.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Auto Club. Like you watch
Mhm.
it run so well. And yeah, it's Coda, Phoenix, Vegas, and then all the way to Homestead,
Yeah.
which that's a saving grace there. Took it out of the playoffs, but revives the beginning of the season. But yeah, man, Auto Club, that last race was so good. Now it's a parking lot or a warehouse or something. I
Yeah, I think the
don't.
garages are still there.
They are. I feel like they left the front stretch in that for like movies and stuff. Like, there's no way they're turning that into a racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks cool right now, honestly, like from
I
pictures.
agree. But that's what it looks like. It literally looks like,
Mhm.
hey, pull up the start and finish line for a picture and then get out. Like,
Mm.
I don't know. It's weird. You got pit road, the garages, the stands all still up, but everything else is gone. Well, overall, well, go ahead.
Well,
Look like your
before we
best.
move on, what'd you think of the two big wrecks at the end? Did you think do you blame Stenhouse? Do you blame Logano for that first one?
I'm blaming Logano on the first one. It's just Stenhouse had the late block. Joey, I mean, you got a couple laps to go, man. Just push. You know, you're not out of the race. You're just one spot back. You can push him out to the lead, and then guess what? Then you pass him. But instead, I don't know if it's just temper or what. It's like, I got to pass him now. Tries to force forward wide where there wasn't room, and it causes a big wreck. It was just, I don't know, careless in my mind.
Yeah, and like Kyle Busch said, I mean, Logano had the car to beat too.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he would have gotten, I mean, Stenhouse had to do that because once he got around him, he was gone. I think as long as he had somebody to push him.
Yeah, Logano led so many laps at the beginning, had the engine problem, which is just a little piece of plastic in the intake, and then or on the throttle body. And then he just charged through the field, no problem, passed everybody. Like nobody else could make those moves. And he was there. Like, just let it play out, man. I don't know. Logano just seems to be in those positions all the time at play tracks to where he just makes a bad move in the last couple of laps and causes a big wreck.
Yeah. Yeah. I do kind of blame a little bit Stenhouse there. I think the blame goes both ways a little bit there. But on the next wreck, I think that Cole Custer was driving like a complete just moron.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing. Apparently, his spotter was calling for the wrong car. That makes a lot of sense to me because it was just a bad wreck again. And we were set up for a really good finish where I think Cindric or Hamlin would have gotten it, but we were robbed of it. And instead, we got a 2-car race to the finish line. So,
Yeah, I mean, he saw that Bell wasn't able to be pushed, and he just kept doing it. His solution to seeing that he couldn't push him was to push him harder.
yeah. Oh, so you're back another wreck. That's the thing is Custer caused 2 wrecks.
Yeah, I'm talking about
You're talking about the Priest one.
Yeah, the Priest one.
Yeah, it's a bad push, you know. But it's again, he's trying to get to the front when you still have plenty of time. You don't need to force the issue. Like these guys need to learn to let things play out and not you have to be up front right now. And I don't know if patience or it's just the idea of winning the 500 or what it is, but Cole Custer was driving way over his head there at the end because he caused that wreck, which, you know, spun Bell out into the wall and then caused a Priest to flip. But then he caused the last caution on the last lap too, where he just goes down and takes out the front of the field. So I don't know. I guess welcome back to the Cup Series, Cole Custer. Thanks. Like,
Right.
we were so close to having a really good finish. And we need one of these to play out. Like, it's always a green white checker with an accident on the white flag lap. And it's over. It's like, I don't know. Just play the race out. Someday. I think it's just kind of a product of how people get their rides though too. Like it's not the best drivers in the cars. There's some money up there.
100%.
Overall, what did you think of the Daytona weekend? Positive?
I mean, outside of the long rain delay, I think that killed a little bit of the momentum, but I definitely felt like it felt like a bigger deal than it has in a good bit. Like I feel like the momentum is on an upward trajectory as far as the sport goes. And I think that things were going good until the rain delay. I think that killed a little bit of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think as the sport goes, for the last couple of years, it's been on the up and up, right? It seems to be growing. Like all the people there, oh, NASCAR's dead. I think they're starting to quiet down. It seems, I don't know, there's a growth to everything. Like you see more fans in the stands, more viewership every week, it seems like. So I think we're moving in the right direction. We just need to really limit these calls that change the outcome of the race. Be consistent. That's all we need. Consistency.
Yep.
Speaking of that, though, did you see NASCAR has their own podcast now from the officials' standpoint?
Do they?
Yeah. It's being called the propaganda podcast by people just because they're going to say what they want to say to make, try to make things sound better, but
yeah, make it make sense from their end.
Yeah. But I don't see that lasting more than a couple months, if that. I know the first week of it has been pretty negative on at least what I'm seeing on social media. So good luck with that. I think it's Mike Ford keeps posting about it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited we're back racing. I'm hoping things get better. I'm not excited for the next 2 weeks. Like Atlanta put on a great race. Well, has been put on a great race. I think it's our best play track right now. But it's just the thought of it, I guess. And then a road course. I don't know. We'll see. Want to get into Atlanta, though?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So, I mean, it's another play track with the reconfiguration, but it's our seventh time, I guess, technically coming here. Are you seeing anything, just, we go over analytics and all that stuff that kind of sticks out to you?
Well, one thing for sure is I don't think we're going to get back-to-back repeat winners to start the season. I don't think that Daniel Suarez is going to win this race again this year. I feel pretty confident in saying that. I mean, this early in the season, I can't say that I see like an overwhelming favorite. We had teams with speed last week that I think were a little bit more than we expected, and so I don't know. I think this is a wide open race, honestly.
Yeah. You mentioned Suarez. I was shocked to see that he's second on the average finisher list, and honestly, if you take one race out, he's easily first because he's only had in the 6 races on this configuration one finish outside the top 7, and that was a 29th place finish. So, or top 6, I should say. Like that's crazy, especially at like a plate track to have that many good finishes. I mean, he's got second places a couple times. He's got a win, and then you had the one race where he wrecked, finished 29th. So he's right behind Ryan Blaney, though. So not surprised to see him up there. I mean, his teammates are going to be up there, obviously. I think in this race, you're going to have just Penske being fast like Penske does on these tracks.
I think Blaney and Logano and Cindric Cindric and Busch are tied for the third best odds, and Logano and Blaney have the best 2 odds. So definitely favoring Penske.
Yeah, I'm very off Kyle Busch. I think people that bet that are just falling into a trap and wasting their money. I know he finished, I think he got second last year. It was a 3-wide finish. So yeah, he got second. Blaney got third, I believe.
Let's see. No, Blaney got second.
Blaney got second. Okay.
Yep.
So Busch got third. And it was like 12 thousandths of a second back. So
Yeah.
close finish, but I just feel like it's a trap. Kyle Busch and that RCR car, just things aren't meshing. I think he's on the end of his career. If you want to bet it, go ahead, but I think you're throwing your money away.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hate it if we were getting, better
Plus-
numbers.
Plus 3,000, plus 2,500. Maybe I'm in. But
I mean, I think I would go for it at plus 1,500, but not at plus
Really?
1,100. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it just because, like I said last week, I think RCR has got to throw a Hail Mary this year. This is an absolute last chance at staying amongst the top teams. If you lose Bush after this year, I don't know who you're going to attract for that ride. So I think that we'll see over the next few weeks if they have speed, but I don't hate it. I don't like it at 1,100, but I wouldn't hate it at 1,500.
yeah, just looking at his finishes here, the last 4 races, all the top 10, 1 top 5, and that's the one that's the closest finish ever. Well, second now. So he's only had 1 stage finish. Oh no, he's got 2. It's just, I don't know. I don't like it. Maybe a top 5 or a top 10 bet, but I can tell you right now, they're not. Yeah, plus 140 for top 5. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch that.
Yeah. What else is sticking out to you? I know I sent you a thing today that I like a lot of these top 10 odds for some of these guys.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you as far as a lot of guys are getting good odds for the top 10. I like Noah Gragson plus 900 top 10. We'll see if he continues to have
Oh,
speed.
That is gone.
That's
It's
gone.
plus 275 now.
Am I looking at top?
Are you looking at top
Oh,
5?
I'm looking at top 5. I am.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, 275 for a top 10 though.
Yeah. I don't hate that either. I mean, I like Gregson top 5 at what did I say he was at?
900.
Yeah. I don't hate that. Just throw a few bucks on that. Throw a Hail Mary.
Yeah, I hopped very quickly on Carson Hocevar plus 400 top 10. I really like that line for him. Carson's talented. I'm not a fan of his, but he can drive, and if he can do it at a track like this, those are great odds.
Yeah, I'm really honestly shocked. Like we talked about earlier today, that he's tied for having the second or third lowest odds, which is
The guy behind him's Cody Ware. John Hunter's ahead of him. Which I guess after last week I can't really talk, but I can't talk.
Ty Dillon's in front of him.
Yeah, it's crazy that he's that bad. I mean, even Zane, I feel like can do better than where his odds are sitting. It's just, I don't know. There's some Austin Dillon at plus 275 top 10. He's notoriously good at plate tracks. He's run well at Atlanta. He's gotten caught up in some wrecks. I know, was it last year? Was that weird Todd Gilliland checkup at the beginning of the race that took him out pretty early? But I don't know. I think I'm going to ride the Austin Dillon plus 275, and I've already bet the Carson Hocevar plus 400. I think both the odds on these are going to drop after qualifying, so definitely get on them now. We saw a lot of the odds drop last week after the qualifying races, so
And you do have till Saturday this week. So
yeah, a little bit more time. But what else we got? So you got a top 5 with Gregson.
How are you feeling about Riley Herbst after Daytona? He's sitting at plus 275 top 10. I was kind of impressed with how he ran.
Yeah, he got kicked out there at the white flag, start and finish line. Great save, amazing. The car was completely sideways, and he kept it going. I was shocked he ran up there, ran it so clean. Okay. I asked last week how you felt about him. I was on the fence. I'm starting to lean like, okay, maybe he fits. He ran clean. He ran well. He almost had a good finish. I don't know where he ended up at the end, but he was right behind Denny going into the final lap. So just one of those things. But yeah, 275. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to see more personally. That's just me. Atlanta's the old super speedway racing in my mind. You got a little bit of a handling characteristics to where you can't just drive it at Daytona like it's a slot car race, you know. Your good drivers are going to be up front, and your bad guys are going to be in the back or have incidents. It's just one of those things. Corey LaJoie is interesting to me. Obviously, last year he kind of fell off. Everybody hated him, but this is the race that made everybody love him, where he almost won. You know, him and Chase Elliott going at it, and he was quick last week in that Rick Ware car. Kaz Grala had a top 15 last year at Atlanta in that car. So Corey LaJoie maybe can pull something off. I don't see him winning. Could he be top 10 though? Yeah, 100%. Like that 01 car had speed, and he's fighting for his job, right? He's fighting to stay in Cup. It might be worth plus 200. It's one of those. I'm going to wait. I think those odds there might actually go the other way. They might get bigger. He might not qualify well. So if he qualifies, 37th, guess what? Odds are better. That's a sit and wait for me.
Yeah. How are you feeling about RFK going into this?
I expected a lot more out of Brad at Daytona, and Priest was up there, Busher was up there. I didn't see a thing from Brad, so I could see all three of them technically being there. The Fords are fast, like period. We just talked about Penske; they're going to be up there most of the race. It's just kind of where people put themselves at this point. Same thing we said for Daytona. It's kind of pick your favorite drivers and go with it. I think it's the same thing. Maybe a little less on Priest, just because, like I said, it is more of a handling super speedway now, kind of like old Daytona or something. Maybe Brad will have a better run, but we'll see. One I was going to mention, Michael McDowell. So he won stage 1 in one of the races last year. He qualified. I think he had the pole on that race also. It's plus 175 right now, but he had speed in that Spire car. He got some damage in one of the wrecks, but how are you feeling about him? Do you think he's going to continue being fast?
Yeah, I was really impressed last week. We know, when he doesn't get involved in accidents, he always seems to run up close to the front when he is fortunate to, have a clean race. But it's going to be intriguing to see how that team does over the next few weeks, I think.
Oh, yeah. All of them, honestly. I don't know. I found it funny just seeing the difference between the front row guys and Spire last week. And it was like they're almost equal playing field, it felt like. Gilliland in the 34 was running next to McDowell for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh, man, I really want to see where this goes. But I feel like Ford's kind of have the upper hand. Gilliland's also same odds, plus 175 for top 10. I don't know about that one. He could be quick. He's burned me so many times, especially on plate tracks. So I don't know. I hope Michael McDowell can really show us something here, though.
Yeah. I mean, at plus 175, I think he's worth putting a top 10 finish on. If you're feeling good about him. The Toyotas are getting. Go ahead.
Do you think you wait for qualifying though, or do you think you bet him now?
I don't know. He's such a notoriously good qualifier. I think it might go down.
Yeah, Maybe that is something to get on at plus 175, and if it drops, then you'd be happy.
Yeah.
Like I said, he had the pole at one of them. I can't remember if it was a spring or fall last year. So
Yeah, because what was it? Like after the first 6 or 7 races, front row had the most led laps by a good margin.
that's right. That was Todd Gilliland of all people.
Yeah, he led a ton. And
Yeah,
I mean,
forgot about that.
yep.
Man, maybe we do feel like maybe put money on both Gilliland and McDowell. Gilliland's in the better front row car now, the lead car. I don't know. It's an interesting thought. I'll have to think about that. Like you said, we got till Saturday.
Another interesting one. How do you feel, especially considering it's such a handling track? How do you feel about AJ Allmendinger plus 250?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm off on colleague until I see something. They just last year were awful. Now you got Dinger back in the ride, and he blows up last week. It's just they got to show me something.
Yeah.
And Dinger, he's talented. We all know that. But colleague has fallen off so much in the last 2 years. I don't think it's worth a bet in my mind. How about you? Are you on it or off?
No, I'm with you. Show me something and then I might start believing.
Yeah. Got anything else top 10? We can move to top 5s. I think I got a good one.
Well, I know we haven't said anything about any Toyotas yet. Do you feel good about any of them top 10?
Top 10. See, I didn't really see any good odds for Toyotas unless I missed it. I mean, you did say Herbst, but
We did. Yep, we did.
well, you know what? I'm back on Eric Jones. I'm doing it. 200. He's quick at these tracks. We said it last week. He showed it, proved it. I'm back in. He's going to get a top 10. Yeah, I'm in. Those are my 3 top 10s there. It's just Eric Jones, Hocevar, and Austin Dillon.
Would you touch Reddick at plus 120?
No. As a Reddick fan, I'm out. Like, he keeps getting these good finishes on play tracks, and I don't know how. Like, he's not there. Like, he wasn't in the top 10 coming to the white flag last weekend, and he gets the second place finish just because everybody got annihilated in front of him. I mean, his team owner kept him from winning the race because Denny Hamlin, when he was spinning out, slammed the side of Reddick. I don't know. He got lucky to get second place. He got lucky to win at Talladega. It's just one of those things. He's kind of squeaking these good finishes in. It's just like, he's not that good of a plate driver. So I'm out. I am. He can prove me wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel great about it, but when you can get, positive odds on somebody as talented as Reddick, I don't hate it.
See, I was looking actually at Ty Gibbs earlier, and I was just like, man, I kind of want to bet it, but he was my money waster last year. I was so in on Ty Gibbs. Like, I'm like, one of these weeks, he's going to do it. He was run well at Atlanta. I just trigger. Not at those odds. Like, if it moves up a little bit, again, plus 200s, I think is kind of my line on these, and I don't know. He'll get it. Just because I'm not going to bet it, he'll get it. Okay. Well, I mentioned Chastain earlier. I'm just gonna ladder Chastain. I think he's got great odds right now. The top 5 at plus 275, top 3 650, and then outright plus 2200. Great odds for Chastain, who's notoriously run well. Doesn't have the finishes to show just because he's been caught up in some stuff. I think that's going to be one of my biggest bets this week, is just going out, riding the ladder with him.
Yeah. Well,
Go ahead.
going off of that with his teammate, based on what you said about his average finish, Suarez at, what is he, plus 220? Top five?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Man, I
That's
couldn't,
crap.
like I said, I can't believe that Suarez has run this well at this track of all places. Like, I just don't get it. He's good for him, I guess. Like, the one race where he's involved with the wreck, everything else is awesome. I'm out though. You can't run that well consistently at a play track. Like, even Dale Earnhardt couldn't be this consistent at, Daytona or Talladega. So I don't see it. I think it is a trap. It's kind of like the Kyle Busch for me. I'm out on that. It's not going to happen. I think realistically, you're going to see him finish about 14th. But yeah. I think you mentioned something about a top 5 earlier that you liked. I can't remember who it was. Well, you mentioned Gregson. That's who it was.
Yeah, it was
plus
Gregson
900.
at plus 900.
McDowell plus 550. I don't mind it. Eric Jones plus 600. I don't know if I'll go that far though. I think I'll ride the top 10 plus 200. But yeah, I'm out on everything higher as he wins. Watch, he's gonna win. But I don't know. There's not much else that really jumped out at me as far as like outrights and that. Your Penske cars are obviously up top with Kyle Busch thrown in. Chase Elliott kind of surprised me at plus 1200. Yeah, he's got a win here, but it wasn't last year, a couple years ago. Byron, sure. The Hendrick cars, I guess, all can be up there. It's, I don't know. Brad seems like he's a little high to me, but I don't know. Maybe somebody knows something I don't.
How do you feel about Bubba Wallace top 3 at plus 600?
I don't hate it.
He ran well in the. What did he do in the fall race? I know in the spring race he got 5th.
Yeah. I have it up here. There he is. Ooh, he's had some bad finishes, I'm guessing. Yeah, 29th. So actually, yeah. So you said he finished 5th, but he's got 29th, 25th, 27th, and 14th, 13th as his finishes. So that was his only top 10, and it was a top 5. So it's his kind of a track, but I don't know. It's a rough call. I don't hate his odds. I really don't. It's the same thing as been saying with everybody else. They're good plate racers. You know who they are, And when you get guys like Bubba Wallace at plus 20, plus 2,000, plus 600 is not bad for top 3. I mean, even the top 5 at plus 250, not awful. It's not bad. I could probably dabble with that. But I mean, I don't know. Just not a lot of things I love. I think the books are kind of playing it safe with some of these bigger names.
Yeah.
Understandable. It's the beginning of the season. Once they figure everything out, it'll go the other way, and maybe we'll get some really good drivers down to the bottom. I mean, the host of R1 kind of just blows my mind for top 10 that he is that far down there.
Yeah.
I mean, if he has 2 bad weeks in a row here, like Atlanta, he gets involved in an accident, and then it's Coda. I mean, Phoenix might be a really good bet on Hocevar. What about
how
SVG? I just saw that plus 10,000. Holy crap! I mean, so is Hocevar and Zane Smith. Like, I don't know, those guys don't belong that low.
Yeah, I almost, out of all the drivers at that, I almost like John Hunter Nemechek the best.
Yeah, I don't mind that one either. I don't know. He always does something that screws him over, right? gets involved in an accident, usually of his own doing, just driving over his head. Austin Dillon at plus 7,000, plus 900 for a top 5. Like, I like that. I mean, he's run well enough that I could bet that. I know he's been involved in accidents again, but that's just how these race. Where is he? Oh, man. He must be really bad as far as average finish here. Oh, yeah. Highest finish on this configuration's 20th twice. So I know he's been running in the top 5. He's got stage points. So it's one of those things. Like, I guess you just bet the guys that I guess historically run well, right? Avoid the traps like Kyle Busch and Suarez, and fall on your Daytona mindset of take it easy. Just pump the brakes a little bit. Don't bet a lot of money. I mean, I was doing you half bets, if that, for Daytona.
Yeah, this early in the season, you got to do that.
Yeah. Well, do you have anything else? I have a couple on Caesars that kind of caught my eye. You got any head-to-heads or groups this week?
I do like one more like outright winner. I did like the odds on is Chris Buescher.
Okay.
Plus 2,000.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. As far as a group winner, I like Buescher and his group. He's at plus 300. He's with Larson, Bell, and Suarez.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna agree with you as far as Chastain doing well. I like him on DraftKings and the Group D. You got Wallace, Briscoe, Chastain, and Reddick. I like Chastain at plus 260.
Yeah.
Then I'm with you as far as the winning manufacturer. I butchered that, but you know what I'm saying. I like Ford.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
Plus 140. So,
yep. I mean, you got Penske and RFK that are just running lights out on just fast tracks, right?
mm-hmm.
So, I mean, even Front Row has been known to run well. So, I don't like that. That Group C, though, where you had Buescher with Larson, Suarez, Bell. I think Bell could steal that.
I could see that.
Yeah, I like him a little bit for this weekend, but
top Toyota.
What's that sitting at right now?
Bell is at plus 400.
I like that. I do.
He's second behind Hamlin.
Yep. Eric Jones at plus 1,000. I kind of thought about that a little bit, but I don't know. Bubba or Bell, I think for top Toyota would probably be the smart bet. And then if you really want to get risky and have money to throw away, that John Hunter plus 2,500. Other than that, though, as far as like top Ford, top Chevy, Ricky Stenhouse plus 2,000 top Chevy.
Yeah.
Chastain plus 800. I don't know. Yeah, there's a couple of things, but nothing like really blowing my mind as far as like I have to bet it right now.
No, but this just goes back to me being high on Buescher right now. Top Ford plus 900. But I also said top 5, and I said winner. So
yeah,
I mean, might as well go for that. Rack up with the 3 right there.
Yep. I mean, might as well pair them all together because if one hits, they all hit, right? So, yeah, I don't mind it. So kind of in line with those over at Caesars, they have Legacy versus Colleague. And I saw this and I instantly bet it. And I went full bet size, 1 unit on this. I'm all on Legacy. Colleague has done nothing. And at minus 110, like, it's worth it. It's almost, even odds. Just, I'm all in. Then the other one that kind of stuck out to me was lead changes over 26.5. The spring race last year had 48, and the fall race only had 24. But, I mean, even if you average those out, you're in the 30s. So 26.5, I'm going with the over, minus 115. I think both those I really like both of them. Like I said, I already have money on them. Other than that, you seen anything else? I think this is going to be qualifying odds aren't up, so you can't really do anything there. I think Joey Logano is maybe Ryan Blaney. Probably going to get it, but it'll be a Ford.
Yeah, I think so too. Nothing that's really standing out to me right now. I mean, like you said, once qualifying odds come up, that'll be interesting to see. I agree, thinking it's going to be a Ford. Nothing else is really standing out to me. Like you said, take it light. Still early in the season.
Yeah. Next week we'll have a little bit more. I mean,
next week's the week you go SVG.
Yeah, right. You go SVG. Yeah. There's a couple other guys too. Your road course ringers. Reddick is going to be on the board for at least top 5. His odds will be awful, but road courses are easier to predict, whereas Atlanta and Daytona are just throw a dart at the board and hope it hits. Atlanta's a little better, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to next weekend as far as betting. I'm not a huge road course fan, but yeah.
No, me either. But like you said, it's a lot easier to predict.
Yeah. This is where our job gets a little easier in, picking odds and stuff like that, to where we're not sitting here looking at guys, 30th down the list going, yeah, they might be able to do it. It'll be the guys in the top 10 most likely that'll be worth betting on. But anything else you want to talk about this weekend? If not, I think we'll wrap it up here. Okay.
I don't think so.
That is all for us this week. Make sure to tune in next Wednesday night, round 8. We have mechanical issues, so we're late today, but around 8 o'clock Central time. We used to have to say Eastern, not anymore. Make sure to join our Discord. We'll be putting odds up there as we go, lines that we like, qualifying when it gets put up. We might throw something up or just chat with us. So join our Discord. If you're on YouTube, it's down at the bottom. If not, I believe it's on Spotify in the description. So check it out there. But on that note, see you next week.
This has been a For Frequency's Sake Podcast Network production. For more great content, subscribe to For Frequency's Sake on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.